Coming up on Citrus TV News, an upcoming film festival celebrates human rights tonight. Find out what they are planning to show this weekend.
Plus, thousands of supply containers are stuck in San Juan. Find out how that's preventing help from reaching parts of Puerto Rico.
And at the peak of climbing season, a giant rock falls at a popular hiking spot in Yosemite and endangers at least 2 people. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
More updates on Washington email accounts. White House senior advisor Jared Kushner did not share the use of his personal email account to the Senate committee. I'm Noah Wolfe.
And I'm Claudia Bellofatto. Committee members learned about the email account from news reports and not Kushner. They were so upset that they wrote him a letter via his attorney. It told him to double check to make sure all of his documents had in fact been turned over.
The 15th annual SU Human Rights Film Festival kicks off tonight. Screenings are free to the public and are being held in the Newhouse Herg Auditorium. The lineup of social justice films will run throughout the weekend.
And don't be alarmed next week when you have to leave class. Fire and Safety Services will conduct evacuation drills in buildings all over campus. This is posted to the public safety website for those interested.
With some other campus news, Citrus TV reporter Gabrielle Caracciolo is in studio to give us an update on the news we brought you last week about mumps cases on campus.
Thanks, Noah. Yes, Health Services has confirmed 2 cases of mumps on campus. I found out why the mumps vaccine may not be as effective as you think.
Colleges across the country require students to get certain vaccinations, including one for the measles, mumps, and rubella, known as the MMR vaccine. In fact, New York state law requires students to provide their colleges with proof of immunity. That's why many Syracuse University students, including freshman Julia Catalano, are confused as to how the mumps outbreak happened, especially so early in the school year.
What concerns me is that we were required to get the shots for it, and I guess I assumed everybody had the shots, but I guess not.
Professor of Public Health Dr. Lisa Olsen-Gugerty says the MMR vaccine is actually only 88% effective.
We're working with herd immunity, and if we don't have enough people vaccinated for mumps, then you have the potential of somebody to harbor the virus and then spread it.
Symptoms of the virus can include fever, muscle aches, loss of appetite, and swollen and tender salivary glands that are located under the ears. Dr. Olsen-Gugerty's advice for students?
Just get your vaccines, have good hygiene, and if you have any symptoms, go see a healthcare provider.
I did reach out to Health Services and they declined to comment further, saying that all information students need to know was in the email sent out last Thursday and Friday. Last night, the athletics department announced that at least 1 member of the men's lacrosse team does have the mumps virus.
And bed bugs continue to make their way across the district. As of yesterday, Henninger High School found 6 bed bugs in total. After complaints from parents, the school is finally taking action. An organic solution will be used this Saturday to get rid of the bugs and their eggs. Students have been told not to bring their school bags and to take everything out of their lockers for the cleanup. And Steve Harvey is giving one-man Syracuse company a big break. Carlos Suarez went on the season finale of the show Thunderdome and hopes to get funds for his startup company. Suarez struggled to fit a flat-screen TV into his car, which inspired his idea for a truck-sharing platform called Trucks. He cashed out at a $15,000 prize before the audience could vote for him to win. Trucks already operates in 6 states and is expanding to more.
2017 marks the 200th anniversary of construction on the Erie Canal. That's why this year the World Canals Conference came to Syracuse. James Groh was there covering the event.
Sustainability. That's one of the main themes of this year's World Canals Conference.
And it may be an overused word, but it's an appropriate word in this case. You know, sustainability of our waterways and how our waterways can help us sustain our future, environmentally and otherwise.
Syracuse was chosen as the host of the event as a way to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the construction of the Erie Canal. At this year's conference were people from 20 states and 4 countries. Its goal is to share ideas and discuss the current state of inland waterways. But most importantly, its purpose is to plan for the future.
Because after all, what is all of this if it's not about the future?
The World Canal Convention focuses on everything from dams to waterways to engineering innovations. But since this year it was located here in Syracuse, it took some time to recognize Onondaga Lake.
The Erie Canal is extremely important to New York State, to the country. Onondaga Lake is a part of that canal system.
It's a lake that has been one of the most polluted lakes in the country. But as of recently, Ringler says there have been major improvements.
The response that we've begun to see in the fish, with the small fish, the nesting fish and so on, looks as if that the lake is responding to that.
But it doesn't mean that the fish are ready to eat. The mercury levels in them are still too high, and that's one major concern that Ringler has for refugee communities that fish for their food.
Well, I think we still have an issue with at least the refugee communities consuming the fish, and just helping them to understand, you might not want to do this.
James Groh, CitrusTV News.
And next year, the conference will take place on Ireland's longest navigable river.
And it's felt a lot more like summer lately, but today the weather seems a lot more seasonable.
Jack Watson is outside with the latest on this major change. Jack?
Guys, the first day of fall was last Friday, but we're really feeling the effects of fall right now on the hill. Just 64 degrees are high today. A huge drop in temperature, but could it be headed back up? I'll let you know more about that a little later. A low of just 43 degrees tonight with humidity at 78% and winds coming out of the north at 8 miles an hour. Friday's forecast here, a high of 63 degrees with some afternoon rain. Still a humid day at 59% humidity. I'll let you know just how high those temperatures are going to get next week on my full forecast when Citrus TV News Live at 6 returns, guys.
After the break, the Trump administration lifted a ban to help Puerto Rico.
And a member of Congress returned to work after suffering from a gunshot wound. Citrus TV will be right back after the break.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Get some drinks!
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Gear up, guys. Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Claudia Bellofatto, Noah Wolfe, and Jack Watson with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
And this just in, DPS and SPD are investigating multiple off-campus break-ins. They sent an email to students minutes ago saying the events are happening near East Campus. Police say the alleged suspects are breaking into cars to steal items.
And other suspects are vandalizing cars. DPS says to park your car in a safe place with good lighting and secure your valuables out of plain sight. They're also asking students to report all suspicious activity immediately.
And President Trump waived a law to improve Puerto Rico relief efforts earlier today. The Jones Act was originally put in place to protect U.S. shipping.
It forces all goods to ship between the U.S. ports to be moved on U.S.-built ships. Officials say the law made it twice as expensive to ship supplies to Puerto Rico, causing relief problems. But right now, the act is waived for the next 10 days. Companies are also making changes to help the devastated island. The Royal Caribbean Cruise Line is canceling an upcoming cruise in order to help relief efforts in Puerto Rico. The cruise line is instead using the ships to pick up 3,000 evacuees in San Juan, St. Croix, and St. Thomas.
And a spokesperson stated that the ship will also drop off relief supplies at each stop. The ship will be taking victims to Fort Lauderdale before resuming normal operations.
And while efforts are in place to get the people out of Puerto Rico, there are issues getting supplies into the area. Almost 10,000 supply containers are stuck in the port of San Juan. The island is too damaged to get those goods to those who need them. The governor of Puerto Rico says just 20% of truckers in the area have returned to work, and finding other drivers has proven difficult. Down cell service has made it impossible to contact any other drivers as well. In California, one person is dead and another injured after a large rock broke from the El Capitan rock formation in Yosemite National Park. The rock fell yesterday afternoon from the popular climbing site.
The injured person is still at the hospital, and helicopters are searching the area for other casualties. This accident comes at the peak of climbing season. And Representative Steve Scalise is back in the White House, this time with some support from crutches. The House Majority Whip suffered a gunshot to the leg while preparing for the annual congressional baseball game over 3 months ago.
The Republican from Louisiana received a standing ovation from his colleagues. Scalise then took to the podium to thank those who helped him after the attack, including his team of doctors and the power of prayer.
And let me tell you, if they didn't act so quickly, and even after being shot, both themselves continued to engage the shooter and ultimately got him down, which not only saved my life, but saved the life of a lot of other people that are here in this chamber today. Crystal couldn't be with us today, but David Bailey is with us. David, you are my hero. You saved my life. Thank you so much.
Investigators revealed the location of a movie theater shooter after 2 years of secrecy. James Holmes killed 12 people and wounded dozens more during a movie screening in Colorado. Prosecutors sentenced him to life in prison in 2015.
After officials transferred Holmes to a new prison, survivors of the attack wanted to know where he was. Officials finally revealed that Holmes is at a high-security federal prison in Pennsylvania. And clowns aren't only scary in the movies. Police announced the arrest of a clown killer in a 30-year-old murder. In May of 1990, Marlene Warren was shot in the head by an unidentified person in her own driveway.
Authorities reopened the case in 2014 to investigate the mistress of the victim's husband, Sheila Keene. The husband and Keene are now married and live in the Appalachian Mountains, but police took Keene into custody on Tuesday. An LA cop is being accused of drunk driving in a deadly car accident just hours after he posted a video on social media saying, "Don't drink and drive."
3 people are dead after the cop's car rear-ended another vehicle, causing the second car to burst into flames. The cop was taken into custody for a felony DUI and manslaughter. Secretary of Defense James Mattis made an unannounced visit to Qatar yesterday. He sat and met with the country's leader and defense minister. Qatar has been accused of funding terrorist groups. As a result, Middle Eastern countries have cut off diplomatic and economic support to Qatar.
President Trump said earlier this month he would mediate talks to resolve the conflict between Qatar and several other Middle Eastern countries. NASA is taking the first steps in a project that will send humans to Mars. Russia and the U.S. agreed to work together on a NASA-led program to build the first lunar space station.
This is one of the first steps NASA is taking to dive further into the solar system. Space exploration is one of the few areas where the U.S. and Russia are able to work past their tensions over Syria and Ukraine. And moving overseas to Ukraine, balls of fire took over the Ukrainian sky after a large explosion caused about 30,000 people to evacuate their homes.
One of the Army's largest ammunition dumps caught fire overnight, causing the huge explosions. Officials believe the explosion was an act of sabotage with the help of a drone.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Guys, it has been a record-setting week here in upstate New York. Let's take a look at the high temperatures from this week. 89 on Sunday, 90 on Monday, but Tuesday and Wednesday we set high temperature records both at 91 degrees, but we see a major drop here on Thursday. That's today at 64 degrees, and that takes us to our current temperatures in and around central New York. Syracuse 61, Cortland 58, Ithaca 60, Binghamton 60 as well, Penyon 60 as well, up there by Lake Ontario, Rochester 61 degrees. Now our future radar showing not too much in store tomorrow morning, but a major development moving our way for tomorrow afternoon. Some afternoon rain in stock tomorrow. Right now on the hill, 61 degrees, some on and off clouds and some slight winds. I'll let you know what to expect for tomorrow and 5 days ahead when Citrus TV News Live at 6 returns, guys.
And after the break, Amazon reveals new products and upgrades to a familiar face. Or is it a voice?
And an icon known for his contributions to the magazine industries and to the civil rights movement has died. Stay tuned.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Credit reporting company Equifax is offering a lifetime of free credit lock to its customers. Locking a credit file means one can close his or her credit file to prevent thieves from stealing information. Equifax currently charges money for the credit lock feature, but the service will be free for life starting January 31st.
Amazon took the next step to become the newest family member in your home yesterday. The tech company unveiled smaller and less expensive devices that are powered by Alexa. These items are meant to be the function in all of the rooms in your house, and among the new products is an alarm clock that enables video conferencing from bed. But this isn't the end of Amazon's integration. By 2018, Alexa will be in your BMWs and Mini Coopers.
Officials on a Southwest Airlines flight removed a passenger after she complained that 2 dogs on the plane would set off a deadly pet allergy.
A cell phone video of the event has hit the internet, and officers are accused of being too aggressive. Most of the U.S. run when there's a mouse, but imagine if there's 1.5-foot long rats. A new species was officially discovered. Vica rats live on the Solomon Islands, and they're reportedly living in the trees with teeth so sharp they can easily cut through a basketball. This has been the first rodent discovery on the islands in nearly 100 years. Some sad news out of Hollywood. Julia Louis-Dreyfus has has breast cancer. The Veep and Seinfeld star announced her diagnosis on Twitter today. She used the tweet to also care for universal health care. It is not known how bad the cancer is. And legendary founder of Playboy magazine, Hugh Hefner, has passed away at 91 years old. His death has evoked emotional tributes from a spectrum of Hollywood stars, ranging from Pamela Anderson to Larry King. Hefner, remembered for being a force behind not only the 1960s sexual revolution, but the civil rights movement. He will be missed.
Coming up on sports, I have the breaking details on the NBA's lottery reform, the latest on the FBI's student-athlete bribing investigation, and even SU sports aren't safe from the mumps. Stay tuned.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome to Citrus TV Sports. I'm Zach Lang. The National Basketball Association announced today that it will make significant changes to its policies on resting healthy players and its lottery draft system. Sitting star players has been an issue resulting in decreased television ratings and satisfied fans. Commissioner Adam Silver will have the ability to find teams that sit uninjured players in games televised on the major networks of ABC, ESPN, and TNT. As for the lottery reform, the percentages for teams receiving the #1 overall pick have been changed drastically. Where the team with the worst record had a 25% chance to snag the first pick in the past, it now will have the same percent chance to receive it as the other bottom 2 teams in the league. The move is in an effort to prevent teams from tanking their seasons to guarantee a low lottery pick. The reform was passed with 28 out of 30 teams in favor and will be put into effect starting with the 2019 draft. The FBI's investigation into college basketball's, quote, dark underbelly now includes another apparel giant. Nike received a subpoena Thursday morning as more details regarding the bribing of amateur athletes are sought out. 3 of the 4 alleged assistant coaches noted in the report were employed by schools with Nike apparel sponsorships. So far, the investigation has brought down Louisville coach Rick Pitino and athletic director Tom Jurek. Pitino was placed on unpaid administrative leave, while Jurek is on paid leave. ACC basketball contender Miami is also under investigation. Syracuse lacrosse has withdrawn from this weekend's The Creators game in an effort to prevent the spreading of mumps. An undisclosed player tested positive for the viral disease, one of multiple cases at Syracuse University. Athletic Director John Wildhack expressed caution in the situation, prioritizing, quote, the health of student athletes, scrimmage opponent athletes, the Syracuse University student body, and the community. The Orange were set to play alongside the Iroquois Nationals and Team Israel inside the Carrier Dome on Sunday. Women's volleyball looks to go above 500 in ACC play in Durham tonight. The Orange take on the Duke Blue Devils, coming off a 1-3 loss against Pittsburgh last Friday. Anastasia Gorelina continues to dominate the floor for Otto's squad, recording 13 kills in the last contest. The Orange currently stand at 9-6 on the season. The Syracuse Crunch have added a new face to their training camp roster. Jason Atkinson has joined the team after playing for the Binghamton Senators last season. Atkinson has racked up 328 points over 395 career AHL games. Atkinson also previously played for Rochester, Lehigh Valley, Adirondack, and has spent time in the NHL with the Philadelphia Flyers. To the Diamond, the Yankees look to close out their series against the Rays tonight. The Bronx Bombers have outscored Tampa Bay 12-2 in the first two contests of the series. Sonny Gray will be on the mound for the Yankees as he looks to give his team its 90th win of the season. The game begins just after 7 at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees begin their final series of the regular season tomorrow against Toronto. As we move to the turf, the Chicago Bears look to ride off last week's win as they'll attempt to Lambeau leap over the Packers tonight in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers and Mike Glennon will go toe-to-toe at quarterback, and fantasy football stud Jordan Howard will look to ignite the Bears' running game. Both teams survived overtime scares last week. Now the Packers are sitting at a record of 2-1 and the Bears at 1-2. Kickoff is at 8:25.
And a heartwarming story about reuniting little kids with their best friends. Don't go away.
And so
here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
The next 5 days here on the Hill. Friday, we're in store for some afternoon rain with a high of 63 degrees. Saturday, 61 with some morning rain left over from the previous day. And Sunday, some sun, 65 degrees the high that day. Monday, the temperature ticking up significantly at 73 degrees with the high, and some PM rain for Tuesday at 74 degrees.
And that's all the news that we have for tonight. This is Citrus TV News live at 6, and make sure to follow us on Twitter at Citrus TV News for more exclusive content. I'm Noah Wolfe.
And I'm Claudia Bellofatto. Have a great night, Syracuse.